What's going on? Saturday morning, about to get to it. Given a couple minutes, like I promised over the next week or so, I was going to be coming. I am going to continue to interact live a lot more. I enjoy putting up the training videos when I'm at different spots, but something about this live interaction, going back and forth, is a big deal. So as you're coming into the room, make sure, man, you let me know you in the house. Put your name over there in the chat. Hit that like button, and let's get some more of our brothers and sisters over here so we can talk about what's going on in Saturday, especially if you're on the way to your dealership or if you're at work right now. Let me know. What's up, Brian? Working on Saturday, the money day. I feel you. But we're gonna talk about that a little bit. And if it's super duper bright, it's Florida. I'm sitting right here in my breakfast nook area because my mother's flying in town. So right now the rest of the household is like doing a massive clean, thing. You know how it is when your mom's is coming in. You got to make sure. My lady wants to make sure that the house is appropriate and my children doing their best. So we're gonna talk about getting in there and grinding it out on a Saturday. Hey, if you're in the building, let me know who you are. Hit that like button so we can get some other people that are also in their dealership right now listening to this or on their way to work grinding it out. But let's talk about it. All right, now if you're anything like I was when I got started in this in the business nearly 20 years ago, it blows my mind when I say that. You know exactly how it feels waking up on that Saturday morning, getting ready to go into that dealership. You know what? It can suck, especially if you work like the entire week and you just so happen your off day was like last week, Sunday. I'm not sure what your store does, but you work 5 or 6 days straight. And now it's Saturday morning. And we all know the cliche phrase is people say, business is booming on Saturday. A lot of people are off work, and that all may be true. But let's talk about the mentality. And since y'all in here, do me a favor, share me a quick send me a quick message on what you feel or how you felt. Do you like Saturdays, or do you wish that that was one of the days that you didn't have to come in there? Curtis, I only got 5 appointments today, doing video confirmations on all of them right now. Going to see if that increases the rate of them actually show up. Let me explain something to you, Curtis. For number one, hopefully everybody in here sees what this man just wrote. He got 5 appointments and is doing video confirmations. There's a guy I know named Don who was out in he was at Ralph Sellers Chrysler Jeep out in Gonzales, and he was selling 35 units every single month. And what he would do is he and his wife, they worked as a tandem, where any customers that he had interacted with or reached out to, his wife would do the follow-up for him and help him set the appointments. But one of the unique things he did, he literally took a video. And he shot a video just saying, hey, my name is Brian. I'm out here at Ralph Sellers Chrysler Jeep Dodge. And just want to let you know, I appreciate the opportunity to help you. I'm going to be the sales professional that'll be assisting you with any of your automotive needs. I just wanted to make sure that you could put a name with your face. And I look forward to when you and I get a chance to meet. So yes, man, that video confirmation is huge. And here's the main reason why. You're taking a step that the average salesperson would be unwilling to take. They would see it as too much work. When in reality, when you shoot it once, you're good to go. When I'm interacting with different clients of mine that we're doing a deal, and they've seen my stuff online and they've heard about me, but our conversations have been over the phone. I too have shot and will continue to shoot personalized video that I would send out to them, just appreciating their time, thanking them for considering me to come in there and work with their team. It goes a long way. So if you are somebody that gets internet leads or whatnot, please look at what Curtis said. And I'm telling you, it works. Create just a generic video introduction that's letting them know what your name is. Hi, this is Brian Maxwell with ABC Dealership. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to help you. I received some information that you're looking for a 2019, this, that, and the other, and I'm going to be your consultant that'll be assisting you throughout the way. I will be here all day. We have an appointment at blah, 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 and I look forward to us getting a chance to meet. All of that could take like a minute and a half. And what you do, you shoot it to them, okay? You send them the link in an email, or an even better thing to do is when you upload it, if you have their first and last name, perhaps maybe you can tag them on social media. Even if you haven't met them yet, if they're not private, you could probably send them a message. But even if you just sent them the link in the video, just where it says it's an introductory email, where in the email you pretty much say the same exact thing you'll say on the video, but you say, hey, here's a welcome video. Click the link to see your welcome video. Whatever way you want to verbalize it, but that's a good point. Stanley, what's up, man? How you doing? ASAP B, you like that idea? Hey, Brian, good morning. I'm currently waiting on my appointments. Work with Jim Ellis in Atlanta. Glad to catch you. I'm glad that you're here too. And let me explain something. The fact that when individuals like you are taking that minute, that 2 minutes, that 5 minutes to chime in on something like this, please believe that you are putting yourself in a top 5 percentile of go-getters in this country. Do you know the average person doesn't read any new books, don't listen to any training, and you may have heard me say it before. The computer was created based off the human brain, okay? The actual computer was created, which means the mini computers in our pockets, they also were created based off the human brain. Now, our cell phones require 5, 6, 7 software updates a year for it to perform well, okay? It helps update the software so that it can perform at its peak with all of the other updates and the technology all around. Now, if the mini computer in your pocket requires 5, 6, 7 software updates a year to perform, imagine the software updates needed for our supercomputer. So when you're taking the time out to fill your mental Rolodex up with tips, with things to stay motivational, with process, things to improve your process, you are in the top 5% of go-getters. Because I'll share this with you. I meet men and women, and I'm sure every one of you on here, if I say, how many of you want to be successful, more successful, make more money? Everybody will raise their hand. But then when I ask the next question, which is, when was the last time the person read a book on success, read a book on how to make money, read a book on staying positive? That's where it kind of falls by the wayside. So I think it's awesome that you're taking the time out to continue to learn and improve yourself. And do me a solid, if you're in here, hit that like button for us, because what happens is, you may already know this, but I'll share it with you anyway. When you hit a like and it shows that there's interaction on these videos, it continues to spread and expand to other people who are in the same genre that we're in. And so when you have all of these customers that are having bad experiences at dealerships, people like you and I are the ones that could change that. The better prepared our brothers and sisters are that work at different dealerships around the country, the better that they perform, the more value they build, the better the experience that they give a customer. Guess what? When it's your time, who knows, you may be interacting with somebody who had a good experience with someone else that may have watched this video. So now when they go into your store, they have a lot better attitude. Their expectations are a lot greater. So we literally have to be the change that we want to see. But let's talk again out here about Saturdays, okay? So Saturdays, a lot of people are off work on Saturdays, okay? Folks like to take care of bills, or some folks just get out and hang out with their family. But traditionally, Saturday is that day where you get a chance to kick back and take care of the things you didn't get to do for the week. So let's think about the dynamic of when somebody comes into your dealership on a Saturday. The fact that they know they could be hanging out at the beach, they could be at the outlets, they could be at the mall, they can just be laid up doing nothing, but yet they got dressed and they drove into your establishment, which means that this person has a serious interest in potentially buying. Now, I gave a statistic out yesterday, which is that 8 out of 10, 80% of people that drive home in a dealership the same day that they go in would have told the sales consultant that they're not buying anything, they're just looking, they're not doing anything. And hopefully you are grasping this concept, which is whenever you see someone that is in your dealership physically, you must realize they're out of the think about it phase. They're out of that phase. They're in the action phase because they are physically at your store. Because you know now with the internet, nobody goes anywhere without jumping to Google, checking out to see what's going on. They check the dealer reviews. They want to check any type of pricing, and they can check multiple dealerships with the, right there at their fingertips without ever leaving their house. And so when they actually getting up, getting out, and making moves, they're out of that thinking phase. They're in the doing phase now, okay? So you must, number one, they're in the action phase. Keep that in mind. Number two, with all of the things going on a Saturday, they came in to deal with you at your spot. Serious interest, okay? Now, how is it that things can go sideways on Saturday, which is supposedly the best day of the week? A lot of times it's from the sales rep's mentality, okay? Make sure we're hitting that like button, y'all. It's from the salesperson's mentality. And here's what I mean. I remember waking up on those Saturdays knowing that somebody was going to be barbecuing that day, knowing that the family was going to be doing something cool. And here I was getting ready to go into this dealership, and I hated it. So I would walk in that morning with a bad attitude, thinking like, damn, man, got to be here all freaking day on a Saturday. This sucks. Or in those younger days, and y'all know me, I keep it real. I tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about what got me to this point. Back in those days, you know, getting paid on that Friday, I be done went out, had too many drinks with a friend of mine, and now here it is Saturday morning. It's time for me to wake up and go in, and I've got a hangover out of this world. And you know what I would do? We would go to our Saturday meeting, and I would pinpoint the biggest SUV, because I was at a Chevy store, Coggin Chevrolet. I would find the biggest SUV in the back, check out the keys, and you better believe I'd be back there laying down trying to catch me some sleep. And as embarrassing and how as funny as that sounds today, that's how lazy I was back then. I would go hang out. But why? Because I wasn't mentally prepared to be engaged on that Saturday. And I didn't fully get the fact that if people are coming in on a Saturday, they mean business. If they're coming in the day before a holiday or the day of a holiday, they mean business. And so one of the things I want you to key in on is this. If you are working on Saturdays or weekends, or when you do have those late nights, and you know that those suck, because typically we feel like we're missing something. And one of the things I had to grasp is this. The average person wants to work 40 hours a week. The average work week for most people is 40 hours, okay? Now in a 7-day week, a 7-day, 24-hour week, that is 168 available hours, all right? So I'm gonna write this down right here. 40 for work, okay? So if there's 168 hours total in the week and most people wanna work 40, that means that 40 hours are for work and 128 hours, 40 hours are for work, 128 hours are for free time, okay? So let me see if you can read that. 40 hours for work, 128 free time. Now here's where the gap between the haves and the have-nots is so wide, because the average person that wants to put in 40 hours a week, but the available time is 128 hours. So I want you to think about it like this. 40 goes into 128 3 times and some change. So now when you're at your place of business, every second you're at your place of business, you are earning money. You are earning income, okay? Every second that you spend outside of your place of business, that is what I call outgo, okay? Because if you're at home relaxing, that's your mortgage or your rent, that's your electric bill. If you're in your car driving, that's the gas, that's the car note, that's the insurance. If you're eating, that's the grocery bill. If you're on your cell phone, if you're watching Roku, if you're watching cable, all of these things cost money. So 40 hours, you're earning income. 128 hours is your outgo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, think about it like this. When your income time is outweighed by your outgo time 3 to 1, is there any wonder why the poverty balance beam never levels out? See, one of the things I had to realize is that when I didn't want to go in on a Saturday, or I didn't want to work those nights, when I really sat down and I analyzed what exactly would I be doing or am I doing when I'm outside of my place of business, you know what I would be doing? I'd be sitting up drinking a cold one, maybe watching TV, hanging out with the family or the kids. And let's talk about that. When people talk about, hey, I want to be with my family and with my kids, I have 3 children. My youngest now is 18, okay? And I can remember when they were growing up, you know, you get home and you play with them for a minute, but you are not spending 5, 6, 7 hours sitting there on the floor playing with your children. That's just something we say, man, I'll go home and hang out with my family and my kids. And some people do. But in reality, I'd be sitting up watching TV, kicking back, drinking a brew, doing nothing. As a matter of fact, almost everything that I did when I was outside of my place of business cost me money. So I would be pissed off that I'm at this place on a Saturday or at night with the opportunity to earn. Heaven forbid somebody comes in and wants to buy a vehicle and I make $500, $600, $700 on it. Hell, even if it was a mini deal, I still made $100, you know, and a unit on my numbers putting me close to bonus. But me, in my young ignorance, lacking knowledge, I felt like I was missing something. And when I started studying successful people, successful businessmen and women, one thing I realized, the first thing you got to do is throw that 40-hour illusion out of the window. There is now one career that is legal, got to stress the legal part, That is legal, to where by only committing 40 hours a week, somehow you're going to put yourself in a position to be super successful. It just does not exist. It does not exist. But that is the illusion. And the reason why the 40 hours is fed and pumped into our minds by every outlet around is because the powers that be know you will never put yourself into a situation to be financially independent if you rely on that type of mentality. They know it. And so if they keep people running in this mouse wheel, spinning in this mouse wheel, thinking that somehow within this 9 to 5, I'm going to put myself on another level, it never happens. By the time the person realizes it, they're 50 or 60 years old, they've dedicated 30 years of their life to this company or companies to find out when it's time to retire, as opposed to filling out a will for their family, they'll be leaving their family a won't. Because a will says what I will give to you. A won't says what you won't be able to get. So you have a lot more people leaving won'ts than they do wills. You know, a person will work at a job for 2 or 3 years and get a $1 raise. That's a $40 increase after selling their time to that company. That is insane. That's crazy. Or they're told, hey, you can go to lunch, you can get a break at 10. If you start at 8, you can go to break at 10. At 1 o'clock, you can go have lunch. And then at 3, I'm going to give you another 15-minute break. And then you can go home at 5. And they will allow another person to tell them how much money they will be giving them to take care of their family. And whenever somebody outside of your household is telling you how much they'll give you to provide for your household, 9 times out of 10, what you expect and what you need does not match what they're willing to give you. And so when we're working those 9 to 5s, and I've been there too, when we're working them, do you know what we dream about? Man, boy, I wish I could make some more money. Oh my God, I need to find a better job to make some money. Man, I'm not making enough money. And when we think about it, the biggest mistake we made is by looking for a job. J-O-B stands for just over broke. A job is not designed for an individual to become financially independent. It's not. And please, I hope you don't believe me and do your research. The whole workforce, this whole philosophy, this mind frame, this paradigm has been intentionally created. Because think about it, if everybody thought like bosses, who would do the little labor work? Who would take care of the menial things that nobody wants to handle? So everybody can't be a chief. I don't know what's up with my focus. Maybe I'm moving too much. Everybody can't be a chief. And I remember when I used to look at people that worked at certain restaurants and stuff, and I would say, man, there's no way I would work in that place making only $9 an hour, $10 an hour. And I can remember it was my father. He said, are you willing to go clean those toilets? I said, no. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure I'm good. I said, no. He said, well, hold on, y'all. He said, no. He said, well, if you're not willing to do it, somebody has to do it. Everybody doesn't want to be a chief. And I had to realize that, okay? But if we're sitting at our jobs and we're wishing and wanting ways for us to make money, then we get hired by a dealership. And please excuse the blur. I don't know what's taking it so long for the focus to come in. But then you get hired at a dealership, right? And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but working at a dealership, you literally have the opportunity to give yourself a pay raise anytime you feel like it, y'all. Anytime you feel like it. And I'm not some bullshit person coming here selling you a dream, saying, oh, when you walk in, yeah, you're just making $8,000, $9,000 walking in the door. No, you do have the opportunity to do so. But unlike a lot of other things in this business, it requires effort on our part. You know, if you work a typical 9 to 5 job, that if you go in there, you know what you got to do every day. You got your routine. You can kind of sit down and you can probably do it blindfold. And people believe that that's a good thing. But is it really? Because you've got so many other talents and abilities, and yet you're using it for this one chisel thing. But guess what? Then you put yourself in a situation where you are your own boss. You are running your business within a business. And hopefully y'all on here is grasping that. If you see walking into that dealership as a job, you might as well quit now. That stands for just over broke. At a typical 9 to 5 job, if you're making $13 an hour, it doesn't matter how hard you work in that hour. That's what you're going to get. It does not matter. And if you want to put in overtime, that's cool too. But if you think about it, what you're doing is swapping hours for dollars. And when the mentality is swapping hours for dollars, you will never come out on top unless you increase your skill set and your value to a point of what you generate in that hour. what you earn in that hour, the value you bring that people are willing to invest in you for that hour. That's where you can make it work for you. Okay. So really think about it. If you weren't at the dealership today, what really would you be doing? You might be out hanging out with some friends or family, maybe by yourself. You might be going shopping. You might be going out to eat. But I guarantee you, everything that you're going to do will cost you money. Now we're at the spot with the opportunity to earn it. So really the first thing is realize 40 hours to become successful and put yourself on the next level is a myth. And they know if they keep feeding it to the public, they never have to worry about any competition, because a person is working so hard that when they get off, they don't even have the energy to put in the effort on building their own business, creating their own lane, maybe opening your own dealership one day. You don't have the energy for a while because you exhausted all of your energy at that job. Now, when you come into the dealership, the cool thing about it is when you have a boss mentality and you realize you're running a business within a business, you begin to learn. And if you haven't, I highly encourage you to do so. Begin to learn the processes of successful businesses. One of the reasons why McDonald's is so successful, and if you think about it, kids 2 years old know who McDonald's are. If we just sold the golden arches with no McDonald's on the front, we would know who they are. Whether you're in Italy, in Russia, in the US, or in Ghana, everybody knows McDonald's. But yet, McDonald's is on your TV, on your radio, and on your social media pages every hour, on the hour, 365 days a year, 7 days a week. Do you know why? It's because McDonald's gets it. Even though they're $1 trillion company, everybody around the world is familiar with Mickey D's. They're on your radio, your TV, or your internet every hour, on the hour, 365 days a year. Why? Because they get it. They know that the general public has ADD, very short attention span. Folks, let me give you some insight. Back in the 80s, the average attention span for an American was 20 minutes. Do you know that today the average attention span is 8 seconds? It's 8 seconds. So when you have somebody that's in a society, in a culture where attention spans are shorter, expectations are bigger, what this means is that when we have the opportunity to be in a situation where we can literally earn based on what it is that we put out, based on what it is that we do, and we fail to utilize that and to maximize it, it's shame on us. Here's what I mean. At your dealership, those millions of dollars worth of product, you didn't have to invest $1 in that building. We didn't invest $1 in the internet. We don't pay for that. To pay the staff, we don't pay for that. There's a team of people that will process your paperwork. We don't have to come out of pocket for them. There's a group of men or women that will communicate with the lenders for you. We don't have to come out of our pockets for them. And yet, whenever we do help somebody, we're even paid a percentage of the gross profit margin. And if you don't know what that means that before any bills get paid, a chunk of your money is taken out of that, put to the side, okay? As opposed to net. Net is when you gross is what you made in totality. Net is what you have left over after you paid the bills. So when you're paid off gross, that means before the bills are even paid, the dealership is looking out for you. They're putting your money up. Okay. Now it's a Saturday. You may not feel like going in, but think about it like this. While your other friends or family members, as opposed to feeling bad that you got to be there, be excited in the fact that, A, you get the opportunity to help somebody. Number two, man, you can go home that night pulling in $500 or $1,000. And number three, and this may seem crazy, but you should always give gratitude for the simple fact that you are gainfully employed. And that you're not only gainfully employed, but you're gainfully employed at a place that literally puts you in a position to where you can make more in 1 month than you might have made in the whole month working at your old job. You know, the first time that I saw a $10,000 commission check, what that did for my mind back in 2003, it blew me away, because in my other jobs that I was working, I wouldn't have made $10,000 in 3 months of working, maybe 4. But yet here I was looking at a little bit over 10 grand. And it's like a love-hate relationship with it. You know, when it sucks and it's bad, it's bad. But then you might get that deal where you make $500-600. You have that month where you make $4 or $5 grand in commission, and you say, damn, I just made $4,000 or $5,000 in commission alone. If I run back to 9 to 5, I know where that goes. What else can I go do that gives me the opportunity to earn like this? And that's why I say the love-hate, but it becomes more of a love-love as you continue to build your skills. And so when you're working late nights or you're working on those Saturdays, number one, if somebody's coming in on a Saturday, this person has a serious interest. And it's our responsibility to make it easy for them to do business with us. It's like this. If you're expecting a customer, which a lot of salespeople do, to come in and be excited and have a positive attitude and just smile when they're dealing with you, think about that illusion. They're coming in, getting ready to make an investment. They know they're going to be coming out of some money. And so they don't have to come in excited. They don't have to come in a positive mood. They don't even have to come in acting as if they like me or like you. But the reality is this: they can take their business and their money and go anywhere that they want. So we do have to be positive. We do have to show gratitude. We do have to express to them that we're happy that they came in and they gave us the opportunity. You see, y'all, this game is chess. It ain't checkers. And the one thing I stress to people, I got a call last night from a guy who just was struggling so hard and felt like he needed to learn everything about the cars and he needed to be there every hour that the dealership was open to be successful. And I said, dude, you're gonna burn yourself out. Number one, you'll never learn everything about the vehicle, so don't even try. Number two is, I'm a firm believer in working hard, but I'm a big believer in playing hard. It's like myself. I'll be leaving here to go to Orlando for about a week. My mom flies in today, like I was saying earlier, and we're gonna go hang out, blow off some steam, and I'll be right back at it. Or if, I go on cross-country trips to go to Colorado and hang out or do whatever it is. Work hard, play hard, okay? But at the same time, he thought by doing this somehow it was going to help him out, and it did. His results got worse. He was about to have a nervous breakdown because the man was never resting and was overstressed out, believing he had to know everything about everything. No, the only thing you need to be concerned about and know about is what's important to that individual sitting right across from you, that took their time to come in on a Saturday that they will never get back to interact with you, okay? And so product knowledge, is that important? Yes, but people knowledge is the most important aspect of the entire game. And when I talk about people knowledge, not just outside of ourselves, but inside of ourselves. You see, listen, man, I can recall back in the day where I knew I wanted to be better. And I saw guys in my dealership. One of the best sales guys I'd ever seen was a guy named Leon Frazier. He was awesome. Man was pulling in close to $250,000. Make sure we hit that like button, y'all. I saw it real life, putting his kids through college. I wanted what he had, but I was unwilling to do what he would do. When he would come in on a Saturday, he would be there early. He would walk the lot. He would be suited and booted. By the end of the day, he got him between 1 and 3 vehicles went out that day. This man was selling close to 40 units every month. But me, what I would do, I would come in, have to get the coffee, have to talk to my buddies, step outside and hang out for a little bit, might jump on the internet, this, that, and the other. I did all types of other stuff before getting started, not realizing that I have just wasted an hour of time that I could have used to be able to generate some business for myself. Same thing with lunch. I would go to lunch with another buddy there at dealership. We just sitting there chilling, talking. I didn't realize what the man had set the Guinness Book of World Records for automotive sales, Joe Girard, who was selling 6 units a day, little bitty white guy. He said he wouldn't waste his time going to lunch with his team members because they were unable to do any business with him. So if he was going to spend time during that hour with anybody, it was going to be with a customer that he was talking to or working with at the dealership, or he was going to be meeting somebody that may be interested in something that he could possibly get into the dealership. But he maximized his time. I myself today am still improving my skills on maximizing my time, and I do it a lot better than most. It requires discipline. But back to what I was saying, when I wanted to get better, I thought that just me wanting to get better and coming in and looking at somebody do something, that's what it was going to do. And I'm highly intelligent and I am a visual learner. But you know what I realized? It's bigger than that. It's like learning how to make a cake. You might know the basic ingredients are eggs, flour, sugar, and milk. You know that. But if you took 50 eggs, 30 gallons of milk, 20 gallons of water, and 5 pounds of flour and mixed it all together, you would make some garbage. But if you took 3 eggs, a cup and a half of milk, maybe a cup and a half of flour, maybe 2 cups of sugar, and you mix it together, now you have the potential to make a real good tasting cake, okay? It has the same exact ingredients, but I just had to learn how to apply the measurements. And that's what this is. Just like with life, you know what I mean? In life, if we do what's easy, our life will be hard. Think about those that we know that play around all day. They waste their time. They spend their whole day drinking, smoking, doing jack shit, nothing. When it comes to their real life, it's very challenging for them, financially and otherwise. But when you take those people that are willing to sacrifice some of their time, that are willing to invest in themselves, And what seems like a tough period for that short time frame, in reality, in the long run, they're far better off financially and mentally because they did what the average, and average is the best of the worst. They did what the average person is unwilling to do. Do you know that the average income right now in most cities, most of the major cities, is about $26,000 a year for a family of four? Family of four, 26,000. And with all due respect, if somebody's making that, hey, listen, hopefully things will get better. But I will tell you, based on the information that I've shared with you and the things that I do, you know, that what they make in a year, I pull that in more than that in a month. Now, there was a point in time where I hadn't made over $25,000 at all right before I started at the dealership. Now, I make more than that in 1 month working and training with people. Does that make me any better? No. They might be far more intelligent than I am. But what happened is I invested the time and the resources in improving my skill set to a level to where my value makes it to where I am worth. As a matter of fact, most people feel like it's a great deal if you can get me to come in there for 50, you know, well, I won't throw just the numbers out on the internet, but for a 5-figure amount, you can get me in there for a certain number. They feel like it's a steal. Where did it come from? Just learning, applying, and realizing that I am a business and that running my business isn't just 40 hours. So that means if it's working late nights, if it's working the weekends, whatever it takes to get the job done, because I'm sure you love your family, you love yourself, and you like the things that you have, and you probably want more nice things. And what I realized is that in order for me to get it, I had to be willing to sacrifice certain time. I wasn't at every football game. I wasn't at every recital. Hell, I wasn't even in town every week of the month. But guess what? The kids graduated from one of the better schools in the city, in the country, actually. We live in a really nice neighborhood. Going off to college, I'm able to change and impact the lives of people all around the country and in different parts of the world. Where did it come from? Realizing, just like you are right now, that to get things that you've never had, you got to do things that you've never done. And I've said this once before, and there used to be a phrase they used to say, if you wanted to hide something from a black person, to put it in a book. Well, they don't say that anymore. Now they say if you want to hide something from a poor person, put it in a book. Because the average person, remember, average meaning best of the worst, they're not going to take the time to read. Not anything that could build them up. They're not going to take the time to invest in themselves. And therefore, when they come in on a Saturday or working late night, you know what? The best opportunities in the world could walk in and they won't even be able to realize it and see it because they can't get out of their own way. Folks, working at your dealership can become extremely simple when you know what to say. Y'all know that uncomfortable feeling you get when it's time for you to go up and greet that person that looks like they just got a bad attitude, somebody pissed in their cereal that day. Y'all know what it feels like when it's time for you to present numbers and what they wanted to be at and what the lenders are saying they have to be at to make it work. You know how that feeling is where you're like, oh my God, I don't even want to go tell them about this. You know that feeling of waking up in the morning, getting ready to go in and saying, man, is this what my life is about? There's got to be something better. Hell, I remember when I first started, I kept my resume out there on the internet, kept it out there. Why? Because I was hoping that that real job came along. But you know what changed me up? My buddy was working at AT&T, and I thought he had it going on. He was just doing his 9 to 5 hours, coming home. He was getting his money, and here I was at the dealership selling cars, right? Until the end of the year when we got our W-2s, and I realized that he made $39, but I made $43,577. That was it. That was it. And then in my second year, when I grossed 101, that I was making more money than lawyers and doctors, that was it. And if you do have a vision or dream of being in business for yourself, they sell people the illusion that when you have a business, that you spend more time with your family, vacation time. And true, that does end up happening, but not in the beginning. In the beginning, you are tethered to that business because you're creating the foundation. It's like the Chinese bamboo tree. The Chinese bamboo tree, when it's planted in the ground, the seed is planted and is there for 5 years getting watered and whatnot before it busts through the dirt, okay? And then after it busts through the dirt, it grows 90 feet in 2 months. So imagine you have a neighbor that you come outside and you watch this person watering this dirt spot every day. And after the first year, you're like, hey, Mr. Johnson, what's going on? Hey, man, getting ready for this tree. We're going to make the neighborhood look real nice. It's like, okay. The next 6 months to a year, you still doing this every day. And you go out there, you're like, Mr. Johnson, what's going on? Man, watering my tree. And you're like, okay, this dude is freaking nuts. The third year, now you start coming out, you're not even speaking, you're just saying, The fourth year, you telling your kids, don't even look that way. That man's insane. Just ignore him. By the fifth year, you have just given up on Mr. Johnson, and you're waiting on them to take him away in a straitjacket. But guess what happens? In that fifth year, that little bulb busts through the dirt. And within 2 months, that tree grows 90 feet. Now, the reason why up under that ground, it took 5 years for it to bust through is because it had to dig the roots deep enough into the dirt, in the ground, and wide enough to create a firm foundation so that when it grows to 90 feet, when those strong winds come, and those winds and that storms come to try to blow it over, its foundation is so strong that it can stand tall and withstand the pressure. And that's what life is like, y'all. That's what preparing yourself is like. People believe when they make the decision that they want to be better, that life is just supposed to change for them overnight. And it does mentally, where you've changed the way you think mentally. But you have to remember, however long it took for you to get in the spot that you're in, you also have to allow nature, have to allow life to evolve itself that same way too, while maintaining that positive can do, will do, grateful attitude, okay? And so when you're doing these and you say, man, I'm in this dealership and it's just not popping for me. I'd have been here 2 months, 3 months, and what's going on? You have to give yourself the time to grow. I see people that quit after 3 months, they run out, and little do they know that after they left, some of the customers that they have been talking to over those months start coming back in buying from other people. But they quit literally right before they were about to get it. Did you know that if you're boiling water, water boils at 212 degrees, but at 211 degrees, it doesn't. Literally that 1 degree separates boiling and hot. It's like in the Olympics, do you know that it was only a tenth of a second that separated the gold medalist and a person that didn't even place? The margins that we have are so slim, so narrow, that separates where we are from the success that we want to get to. And you know what blocks it? We do. We give up because in our minds, which is limited, in our finite mind, the finite mind of man, we're unable to see all of the things that are happening in the background because of the work that we're putting in, because of the investments we made. We say, man, I made an investment in time and I read this, or I invested some money and I bought something. Damn it, life, change it around. And it's happening. But in our finite mind, we're unable to see how it's going to happen, how the circumstances we're in are going to change all the way to this. We can't see it. And so since our vision is limited, we don't see it, we stop believing, and we transition into something else. And that's why you have a lot of people that always seem like they're starting over. But one thing and I can assure you is that the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you fertilize and you water and you take care of your property at. That's where the grass is greener. Because even if the grass is greener on the other side, if nobody's taking care of it, if nobody's monitoring it and nobody's watering it, guess what? It too shall die. And so the grass is greener wherever you water and you take care of it at. And so where you working at today, whatever you're doing, number one, be grateful. Number two, realize that success ain't built in 40 hours. Success doesn't have a time limit. The time limit that you put in is whatever is required for you to get done what you need to get done. Could it take a day? Could it take days? Could it take weeks? Could it take months? Could it take years? But I assure you, Rome wasn't built in a day. And if you look at the Great Wall of China, it took 2,000 years for that magnificent thing to be built. That means that generation after generation after generation had to be taught, had to be driven, had to be motivated to get this task accomplished and completed. A task that was created by men and women that they would never meet. And they're working on something that they probably would never get to see, that they're putting together for generations ahead of them. That's what you and I are doing. The work that you're putting in today will take care of generations of your family that you will never meet. The information that you're putting into your mental Rolodex will help transform the things that have happened in your past and make your present life that much better and your tomorrow absolutely phenomenal. But it's mental. So when you're going in on that Saturday, there's somebody sitting up would give their right arm to have a position to go into on a Saturday. There's somebody right now that's working a job that they hate, that needs an extra $2,000 next month to take care of something. And no matter how hard they work and how much overtime they put in, it'll never get there. But you have that opportunity. There is somebody who has dreams and aspirations of wanting to run their own business, own their own business, but they might not ever get there. Guess what? You're doing it right now. whatever the name of your dealership is, you put your last name up before the dealer brand. So if it's Hutchinson Ford, guess what it is? It's Maxwell Ford right now. And we think like a boss, a CEO, because remember, you are the boss of the best business that you will ever own. And that's you. That's you. Believe that. Okay? That's you. And the one thing I want to ask you to do is, and it doesn't matter whether it's with me or it was with anybody, you should definitely find yourself a mentor or somebody who you trust and who has a life or is doing something that you want to do, and you learn how to do it. Sir Isaac Newton said it best. It said that if I see further than others, it's because I stood on the shoulders of giants. The thing that helped me launch and catapult my career from where it was when I was rocking it out on that showroom floor, I was putting up my 30 units a month, but to move out like I did, I had to learn from men who were and women who were doing what I wanted to do. I had to invest my time, and I had to literally invest thousands of dollars in programs and courses and training because I knew how to be a great salesperson at a dealership, but being a businessman was something totally different. And I had to learn because 99% of new businesses fail in their first year. Okay. And I knew I didn't want to be that statistic. Here we are nearly a decade later, still rocking. And you can do it too. If an idiot like me can go from being evicted, can go from being borderline suicidal when he was getting thrown out on the street with his family, from bouncing around job to job, from being one of the worst salespeople my dealership has seen, to turning his life around the world. Now, best-selling author of 3 books, traveled all around the United States of America, consulting with people from all over the world, get paid more in a week than some people make in 2 or 3 months working at their job. If I can do it, you can do it. But you can do it without all of the mistakes that I had to make, without all of the burns that I had to go through. You can do it. What I just did, I am sharing a link with you. Hold on, let me put it in there. I'm going to share a link with you where for you to go and you can check out just this information that I have available. And it is the ultimate online automotive sales training and coaching program. Okay. Now, for some, they'll say, hey, listen, nah, I'm not going to do that. And that's cool. That's great. It's not for everybody. But for the nearly, I believe we've had 200 people in a little bit over a month or so that have taken the plunge with this, and hundreds and hundreds prior to that. And if you were on the live stream last night, one of the young gentlemen that got started in the last month literally is the #1 sales rep at a store. And right now, this month, I think he said he has close to 19 out. They've never done this before. But just by applying the things that he picked up, by applying what I'm sharing with you, okay? Take advantage of your opportunity while you're at that dealership. I've never seen another profession that somebody with just a high school education or a GED can take themselves to a whole nother level, can earn $100,000 a year. What other business or industry do you know like that? And it's available for you too. If you look right there in the chat, I've shared a link just for you to be able to click it, go on over and check it out. This is a program that I would sell for $1,000 to people that literally is made available to you for less than a tenth of that. I sell it for $1,000 when I do live seminars, workshops, okay? But for those of you, my brothers and sisters who are in the business, who do want to get better, if you do have children, or your family, you have to ask yourself, is your family worth it? That for less than $100, you can make an investment in yourself and in your family for something that will help you earn money for the rest of your life. It's only a one-time investment for a lifetime benefit. And if you disbelieve, I even give you 90 days to download it, to access it, to use it. And if you feel like it doesn't help you, you get every cent back and you keep everything else. That's how confident I am. And guess what? To this date, I've had zero. All right? So if you're going in on a Saturday, be positive, be excited, be grateful. And if you've been looking for somebody to help you out, you've been looking for somebody to work with you, if you've been looking to learn the right ways to get this done, if you've been looking for the word tracks, if you've been searching for ways on how to drive people from your social media pages to want to buy from you. If you've been looking for a way that you too can sell 15 to 20 units every month, you have the opportunity right now. Just by clicking that link, you'll see where it says check out the ultimate online sales training programs, the downloads. Click that link, go on over. And what happens is you and I actually do schedule and we work together. So not only are you getting on the YouTube, but you get the actual programs, and then you and I work together. Okay, we work to take these tools and implement them for you at your dealership. You are my report card. Having your testimonial showing that you made $7,000, you know, after you guys started with this program, that you bought that new house, you bought that new car, you were able to marry your dream man or dream woman because you were able to provide for them. You was able to put your kids in a private school. These are all of the messages and the emails that I get every single day, every single day. And I want you to be the next. Click that link in the description, okay? What's up, Jeff? Click that link in the description. Go on over. Nick, I see you. Joe Girard's record was beaten. I'm gonna have to check into that. Antonio, what's up? Governor Williams reporting from Pensacola. Pensacola in the house. Yeah, I was living out in West Florida. I had a place out there right outside of Fort Walton Beach. But ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are on this live, and for those of you who are gonna be watching, treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. Click that link in the description. Make an investment in you and your family that keeps giving. You watch these videos, you know that what I'm sharing with you is real. It just makes sense. But if you're expecting you're gonna remember everything that I'm sharing in this, you won't. But guess what? With this program, when you download it, you can have access to it immediately and start using it today. If you didn't know how you establish rapport when you're sitting down qualifying with somebody and you just got that damn info sheet, but that doesn't help you. It just makes you feel like you're giving an interrogation to the person and there is no type of relationship. I have all of the questions laid out for you in a format that will make your life so easy. When you're doing a presentation, you want to go from 0 to 100 and make your presentation powerful. I've got that all laid out for you. It's done for you. All you have to do is download and apply. The only thing you have to change is put your name in it where it's blank. And if you do have children, there's one program that's included in the entire package. It's called the 100 Success Tips. It's 10 videos. Why not have your teenage child or you and your spouse listen to that in the morning while y'all are getting ready to go out to your place of business? You see, this whole program, it is focused on helping you sell more units, help more customers at your dealership, but it's also about thinking bigger and living a much broader life. It's bigger than just those units. And folks, you got to get to the point where you stop walking over the dollars to pick up dimes. See, a person will say they can't afford to invest less than $100 for themselves, but will spend $200 on Netflix for the year. Will spend $100 and something on a cell phone that doesn't give them anything back. Yeah, you can talk, but you don't need the iPhone 10 for that. They've got cable. They spend all of this money. They go out to eat every single day in 1 week. Most people spend more than $100 just going out to lunch. And the only thing it can give you is gas. But guess what? When you make an investment in yourself with this is the gift that keeps on giving to you for life. And you can share it with your family. You can share it with other team members at your dealership, or you can just keep it to yourself and let people wonder, how in the hell did you start rocking out like you are? But all I'm asking is for you to take this plunge with me. Let's get started. Click that link in the description, go over, download it. You can download all of the materials directly to your laptop, to your phone. You can listen to them through your Bluetooth. You can read them while you're sitting up waiting on your next up. You can do with it as you please, but just follow it. You can even take the Facebook stuff while you're at your dealership right now and start using it to start getting people messaging back and forth with you, wanting to come in to get what it is that you have. You can do it. Start my very first sales consulting job Tuesday. Congratulations, Jeff. Congratulations. Jeff, click that link, because here's the kicker, especially when you're getting ready to go in, because everybody believes, oh, they're going to train me up. I think everybody on here will agree. They told you they were going to train you, but when you got there, you didn't get any of that. Well, guess what? I'm going to do their job for them, Jeff. And you and I will work together personally. If you think you like this, you're going to love that. So click that link in the description. Go on over, download it. You have access to it immediately. You can implement it immediately. You'll get an email from me scheduling the date and the time for us to get together. But other than that, you have over 10 and a half hours of audio and video on the sales training process. You have the sales training manuals. You have the how to drive Facebook leads, audio and video program. You have the 100 success tips video program. You have the how to dominate YouTube program. You have the online traffic surge, which teach you how to leverage your Instagram and Snapchat program. You also have another online training that's about 1 hour and 20 minutes that's included in that I also am giving to you, that's included. So when we say you have literally hours on hours, not just a video and audio, but the word tracks. Also, you get over 40 different word tracks and scripts on how to handle the objections for shop around, trade, talk to spouse, think about it, the price is too high. Everything that gives you an issue every day, I've already taken it, fixed it, flipped it up, and made it available to you. Gonna sell Mazda, Mitsubishi. I see Maximum T-Pain out of Huntsville. Volkswagen got 3 appointments today. Go get it, y'all. Go get it. I see y'all grinding. But I got to get ready to get out of here and go pick my mother up from the airport. But folks, click that link in the description. I'm gonna receive a notification. I work with 30 people every week. As of yesterday, and I'm gonna be real with you, I didn't check the spot availability. I know as of yesterday when I got done, we had 3 spots available. So be one of those 3. Click that link, go on over. You'll get the email from me today, scheduling for you and I to get together and talk. But think about it like this. For 1 month, if you just took 1 month, for less than a cup of coffee a day, for less than a Red Bull, for 1 month. So imagine somebody saying, every day you got to buy me a Red Bull for 1 month, and I'll teach you how to make $100,000 a year for the rest of your life. That's what this is. For less than a Red Bull a day for 1 month, I'm gonna give you access to all of them information that literally will help you make $100,000 or more a year, not just one time, but for the entire time. Okay, and let's just say you somebody said, man, I don't even need to make 100. Damn, if you don't care about 100 and it's about 60, 70, and 80, you're definitely in the game for less than $100. So if somebody said to you, for less than $100, I'll trade you $100 for 60,000, would you do it? And if the answer is yes, let me make the claim to you. I'm offering you, I am giving to you tools, the information, the video and audio to make yourself $100,000 a year for the next however many years you want to apply. And all it requires from you is less than $100. So I just made the declaration to you. So before Netflix gets your investment, before every fast food restaurant out there gets your investment, what do you owe you? What is your success and your future worth to you? Because I've never seen a calendar that has perfect day or someday. And I've never seen a watch that has perfect time. The only perfect time is the one we make. So let's make some, y'all. All right. Again, I'm Brian Maxwell. I just want to let you know I got love for you. All right. And this is my commitment and my opportunity to give back. So receive it. And let's put some hustle behind that muscle. All right. So to the next time, I'm going to get out of here, go pick her up. I'm going to go live again. I don't know if I'm going to wait and do it out there with Mickey and Minnie, or I'm going to just do it while we're here hanging out. But other than that, like I say, man, my love goes out. I hope you have a bang out day. Click that link in the chat. It'll also be listed in the description. And let's go get it done. Other than that, I'm Brian Maxwell, y'all, over and out. And I look forward to seeing you at the dealership. All right.